Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Today, we are going to take a look at how much and how many. So when do we use how many or how much, how to respond to these questions, right? And the best answers that are possible. So the difference between how much, how many is going to be a noun that is quantifiable. So what does that mean? Quantifiable would be something that can be counted, okay? And when something can be counted, that is when we use the word many. So something that can be counted. Again, it is a noun that's quantifiable, whereas with how much, it's going to be a noun that cannot be counted. And so think about this for a bit, and what can be counted, what cannot be counted. Okay, so if I am at the store and I see water, a case of water, right? Or just bottled water. I can say, how many bottles of water do we need? Speaking to another person, right? Because each bottle of water is, well, first, the bottle of water is going to be our quantifiable noun, and that is something that we can count. If I'm speaking to somebody that is with me at the grocery store, I would say, how many bottles of water do we need? Possible answers, it can always be a number, something quantifiable. I can say, or they can respond, we need 6 bottles of water. Quantifiable, again, can be a number. We could also use words such as we need a lot. We need a lot. We need a few. We need some. And we need a couple, or we need a couple, or a little bit. Okay, and so these words can also be used, some of them can be used with how much, and I'll explain that. But these words here, a lot, a few, sort of demonstrate a general number. A couple in English means 2, a little bit, very few, some, we don't need many. So these are possible answers. How many bottles of water do we need? We don't need a lot. It could be 1 or 2. We need a lot. It could be 10, right? But the most important thing is, along with a general answer, we can answer the question with a number and be very specific. Again, another example could be, how many people are in the room? We use, again, many. The reason why, people is going to be the noun, and people or persons can be counted, right? So I can say there are 10 people in a room. There's a lot of people in a room, right? The important thing, again, here, we're using many. Now, to give a brief statement or explanation of much. So what are some things that cannot be counted? Going back to this bottle of water, we're going to look at just that same bottle of water, right? Now, we can, of course, count the number of bottles on a shelf or in a case of water, but can we count how much water is in one bottle, right? How much water? So how much water is in the bottle, right? Of course, that can be measured, right? I can pour all of the water and say there's 16 ounces. But when we're speaking with somebody and we're talking possibly a recipe or just, living everyday life, we're not going to carry a measuring cup with us to say, hey, let's measure how much water is in the bottle. We're more likely going to just answer a lot of water, a little bit of water. There's some water in the bottle, not too much. Possible answers, right? This is not quantifiable. I couldn't say there's 10. I couldn't use a number, right? Of course, if we carried a measuring cup, we could say, oh, there's 4 ounces of water. The question, however, would still be how much, again, because it is not something quantifiable. Same goes with things like salt or sugar. How much sugar do we need? How much butter? Butter is another good example that can be either or, similar to the bottle of water. How much butter do we need? A lot, right? Because a lot could be 3 or 4 sticks. But if the question is how many sticks of butter, that is something quantifiable. I can open a box of butter and I know each box has 4 sticks. How many sticks of butter do we need for that recipe? 1, 2, 3, perfect. How much butter do we need? Between the 2 people, a lot of butter, right? About a half a stick. And that's when we would say how much. One noun that can be also confusing is money. So looking at money, the noun money, right? We know we can count money. Money can be counted. However, of course, in English, there are always exceptions to the rule. We wouldn't say how many money. Okay, that is incorrect. Money, when we say how much money, well, when we talk about money, we say how much money is it? Okay, and again, this can be confusing, but we're talking about money, right? And it refers back to a noun that we're possibly talking about. So at the store, if I say, hey, how much is that? Or how much is this? How much is it? It is assumed that the person we're speaking to understand the noun we're referring to. So how much is it? The car, the shirt. We could possibly use gestures and point at the noun. And so with money, we use the word how much. Oh, that's a lot. And we can say, oh, that's too expensive. We can use expressions, right? But we can also quantify it and say that is going to be $200, right? But again, important thing with money, how much? To be grammatically correct with money, if I said, how many $1 bills do you have? Of course, this would not be common to speak of. Grammatically correct, you could use it, but it is not common. So I can, say to a friend, how many $20 bills do you have? This could be possibly used at a bank. How many $20 bills do you need? I need 50, right? For what reason? Who knows, right? More likely, somebody would say, how much do you need? $1,000. Would you like 20s or 50s? It doesn't, for me, it wouldn't matter. Just $1,000 is $1,000, right? But if for a specific reason, you're a business owner and you need, $5 bills so that you can give change. How many $20 bills do you need? Sir, I need 100. So that could be a scenario where you use many with money. But in this case, we're talking about bills, right? How many dollar bills or $20 bills do we need? And that is something countable. Again, going back to money, here, the word money, we use how much. So that is something used more regularly in. Okay. Okay, so going back to money, right? In English, the more you use it, we'll understand, hey, money, how much? So of course, questions, things like that, please ask in the comments. Hopefully this does help. To check for understanding, I've got some questions here for us to look at. We're just going to review these 4. Check to see, of course, answer these on your own, and let's see how you do. So in this case, how many carrots are there on the shelf? Always refer to the noun. How many money is it? How many water is in the bottle? And how many water bottles are there? Okay, so most nouns, again, is countable, but like in this case, carrots. Is it countable? Yes. How many? Money, of course, we know we can count, but in this case, we know the rule. How much money is it? How many water is in the bottle? Though measurable, when we talk about water or butter, sugar, salt, air, right? We would answer with a lot, a little bit, not too much. In that case, how much? Of course, the water bottles, how many water bottles are there in the box or in the case or on the shelf? 6, 7. So hopefully you look at these, and the correct answer is the bold word. So how many carrots, how much money, how much water, how many water bottles? Again, please, if there are any questions, concerns, if there's anything I can do to better explain this, please let me know. Hopefully you found this valuable. Thank you very much. Have a good day.